On the dividend news, guys, I do have quite a couple companies to show you guys for dividend raises as well. We're going to go ahead and start off with the one that's bad, the dividend cut, which WPC announced its plans, a dividend cut as it prepares to spin off office properties into a separate REIT later this year. CFO tells analysts on a conference call, we intend to reset our dividend, but October 16th dividend remains unaffected. So I'm sorry for any WPC shareholders. On the good side though, guys, one of the companies we were expecting a dividend raise for the month of September did announce a massive dividend raise, which was Microsoft. Microsoft raised its dividend by 10.3% to 75 cents per share quarterly. That's an impressive streak of 21 years of dividend increases. I am a shareholder of MSFT, Microsoft, and will continue to hold them. So let me know in the comment section if you are invested in them. The other one here that we do have, guys, is Starbucks, which hiked its dividend by 7.5% to 57 cents per share quarterly. This was another company in our video that we went over that we were expecting a dividend raise for the month of September. Starbucks initiated its dividend back in 2010 at 5 cents, guys. Now it's 57. If you had invested back 13 years or so, you would have had a very awesome dividend yield right now. The next one we do have here, guys, that was also on the list for the month of September was American Tower Corporation, which it's making a strong comeback with a much larger dividend increase of 3.2% in Q4 of 2023. The dividend growth of AMT kind of been increasing. They've been increasing it almost every single quarter, and they've actually been increasing it for about 11 consecutive years now, which is very impressive. The other one we do have here, guys, which is not a dividend raise, but Walgreens was expected to hopefully get a dividend raise, but they actually have not announced one yet for the first time in decades in 2023, with 5 consecutive quarters of unchanged quarterly dividends at 48 cents. Is this the end for their track record, or could we see an increase later this year? WBA's dividend yield now is a whopping 9%. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think of WBA. I am unfortunately holding WBA in one of my options portfolio, and I'm kind of quite down on it. On the good side though, guys, we do have Texas Instrument. If you're a shareholder, they did announce a 5% increase quarterly from $1.24 to $1.30, which translates to $5.20 annually. That's pretty great there. The other one we do have here, guys, is Shoe Carnival, which actually increased about 20% in their quarterly cash dividend, now at 12 cents per share, up from 10 cents. They actually they have an impressive 46 consecutive quarters of dividends, so that's pretty awesome to hear. The other one we do have here, guys, is that JP Morgan did announce a dividend raise back in, I believe, July after the stress test, but they actually finally show up as 5% increase to $1.05 per share quarterly. I actually am a shareholder of JP Morgan, so that's very awesome, getting a dividend raise for doing absolutely nothing, guys. And then the next one here, guys, that we do have is Fortis, which actually announced an increase of 4.4% increase, which continues its remarkable streak of 50 years of consecutive dividend growth. That's very impressive here, guys. And the second to last one here, guys, KDP actually just raised its annual dividend by 7.5% to 86 cents per share. That is very awesome there, guys. And the last one we do have here, guys, is that Roper Technologies has soared to all-time highs with 30 consecutive years of dividend increase and impressive 10% average annual hikes in recent years. So if you're a shareholder, congrats to that. What's up, everybody? This is Antonio here bringing you episode 205 of the Portfolio Update. So you guys already know it's Sunday. It's time to go over the portfolio, what we bought, what we sold, what options we had to manage, trade, roll over, and which ones we placed as well. How much we grew the dividend snowball. We actually have in this video, guys, we will be going over SCHD, which they actually did go ex-dividend date this past week. But you guys already know, every single week, guys, we actually come back, we kick off these scripts, we continue to dollar cost average into the portfolio. By the end of the video, we should see this much higher. Remember, we're trying to get this monthly projected income to about $375 to about $400 per month. That would be pretty great passive income here for us. We had to do absolutely nothing, but hopefully by the end of the video, we should see this higher. If we look here on the annual dividends, guys, you'll see that we are so far at 2023 annually wise, we're at $2,168.67. This is actually all the way just till August, so that in the first 8 months of the year, we've almost closely surpassed 2020's full 12 years. And in the coming years, we should see this grow much faster. And we're gonna get to a certain point where our portfolio is compounding so fast that our income is really not affecting it as much, or the amount of money that we contribute into the portfolio, because all the passive income is going to be doing all the hard work for us. If we look at the quarterly dividends here, guys, we're still working on Q3. We're waiting on September. We have a couple more companies we're expecting dividends from. We actually got a couple this past week, which I'll show you shortly. And then on the options premium here, guys, you'll see that for September we actually did go down a little bit less, so we're only down by $745.28. We were around 800 last week. But if we look here at the return, options return on my own money invested, we're still at we went down to 2.79%, which is okay. If we look here, guys, on the goals, we do try to keep goals to try to stay focused every year. The first one is, of course, related to my YouTube channel, so that is to reach 20,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing with that notification. And as well, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a big thumbs up on the video, definitely goes a long way, costs you nothing, and it definitely helps support the channel, and I definitely appreciate it. Goal number 2 is to reach about $325 per month. Again, we've already surpassed this. We're on our way to $375 to about $400 per month on average. And then we also have here to reach $118,000 invested of my own money. We're actually currently at only $116,501, so we have quite a bit more to go, but we're getting there slowly but surely. And I think by the end of the year we should achieve it. Goal number 4 is to dollar cost average $100 into the portfolio, no matter what. That is at a minimum. I'll show you that I did contribute that. That way we can continue to grow that dividend snowball over time, no matter what. If we're going green, if we're staying stagnant, or if we're in the red, which, you know, this past week we did see a little bit of a sell-off on the portfolio, which is actually very, very great because we can actually average down on our positions. If we look at goal number 5, which is to drip an additional $100 into the portfolio every time a company is about to actually go ex-dividend date. That way we can actually buy a little bit more of shares before, I guess not shares, but buy a little bit more of that company. That way we can get paid more. And then goal number 6 is to try to reach about $400 per month on average selling options. And you'll see that we're actually, maybe we might get to that. We won't, I'm not sure, but you'll have to find out closer to December. And then goal number 7 is to reach 1,000 shares of SCHD. I think we'll definitely get to that point. I think we can achieve that there. If I show you guys here the dividend payout, you'll see that we actually have a couple companies that we're still waiting for the month of September. We have it on the 28th of September, Nvidia, and then Union Pacific on the 29th. And then we have Altria. Later in the video, we'll kick this off. We should see the SCHD one, which they did go ex-dividend date, and then we'll see how much they are going to be paying out this next quarter. If we look at the options here, you'll see that for the total year, we're at $3,245.54. For September, $745.28. And then yeah guys, but let's go ahead and get started. So if you guys look here, we're at $207,655.71, which on the day change we're down about $347.71, which is about 0.17%. On the 2-year change, it's showing that we're down, or I guess we're up by $19,545.47, which is about 10.39%. If we look over here at the positions, it's actually not loading. Let me pause it and get it loaded. All right guys, so I got the positions loaded. For some reason they weren't loading for a bit, but anyways, you'll see here that we're actually still in the green by $48,568.06, which is about 30.94% in the green. And then you'll see here on the day change, or I guess not on the day change, our cash balance is at $2,098.62. Cost basis is $156,989. That's because that's the amount that I've contributed plus anything that I've taken in capital appreciation already. You'll see that we do have a little bit over 200 shares of Apple. We do have a covered call, or I guess 2 covered calls on Apple, and they're actually 150 strike price, so we're going to be managing these. We're in the money on these. And then we have a little bit over 100 shares of Altria as well as JP Morgan. We'll be placing some covered calls next week. Hopefully we'll see what happens there. Then we do also have a covered call on Microsoft, which we actually are managing. It's a strike price 280, so we're in the money. We're gonna have to try to roll that. And then we have a couple other companies. We'll eventually try to get to 100 shares. We'll see how long that takes. The other one here that's important is SCHD, guys. We do have right around almost 700 shares. We're at 698 shares of SCHD. Currently market value is about $49,763, but total invested is about $50,972. So we're down quite a, I guess not quite a bit, but we're down on the position, but that's okay because that means we can average down. And then if we look here, we do have actually 3 cash secured puts on SCHD at a strike price of $70 that expires on the 20th of October. And what this means is that if SCHD on the 20th of October closes below $70, I will get assigned 300 shares of SCHD. So that means that I need $21,000 of my own money to cover this. And then the next one I do have is I actually have 7 covered calls on SCHD for $77 that expires on the 20th of October. So that means that if SCHD closes above $77, my 700 shares would get sold, and they would get sold at $77. But for me to take this risk, I did collect roughly about $43 and then $23, so about $66 I made. And doing this, the last one I do have is SNSXX, which is the US Treasury money mutual fund that we have roughly about $22,000 invested in this. And if we do get assigned those cash secured puts on SCHD, I will sell out of this to cover those positions. If we show you guys here the performance, we are actually up still by $9,923.23. So you'll see that we are slightly up, and then we did go down this past week. Hopefully we get some more sell-off because I love red here, guys. The red is great for the portfolio because we can accumulate more shares at a cheaper price. Then you'll see we're at 4.90% for rate of return. And then you'll see here on the investment income that we're projected to make $5,396.42 for annually for the next 12 months, which averages out about $449.70 per month. On October, we're here totaling about $388.89, and then for November, which would be our lowest amount, $178, and then for December, which is going to be a very great month, $829.63, which I'm definitely looking forward to it. But if we look here at the history here, guys, we can kind of go over what I did this past week. You'll see that I do have it to start from the 17th of September of 2023 all the way till today of the 23rd, which if we scroll to the very bottom, you'll see that a couple cash secured puts and covered calls we had from last month, they did expire worthless. We got to keep the premium, and that's kind of the goal for what we're trying to do, because those little crumbs we do collect, we do reinvest back into the portfolio, and they do add up, because then the next quarter they do pay out a little bit more and more, and that compounding snowball gets larger and larger. But anyways, here on the 18th here, guys, of September, I did end up buying SCHD. I bought one share at $73.62. This was actually because we did get paid from the mutual fund that we do have. Basically, the interest I do collect, I kind of use that to reinvest back and buy another share of SCHD. We do have here on the 18th as well. I did actually ended up selling the 3 cash secured puts that I told you guys here. I sold the cash secured puts at $70 strike price that expired on the 20th of October. They paid me about 15 cents per contract, which again, remember, one contract controls 100 shares, so you'd have to multiply 100 times 15 or 15 cents, and then that's how you get $15. Then you multiply it times 3, which is roughly about $45 minus the fees and commissions, which comes out to be $43.02. We do have here on the 18th, we do have a sell to open, so I have covered calls for $77 strike price. I have 7 of those, and we made about $23.36. I will be making a tutorial or video covering options for you guys, because I've gotten quite a bit feedback on questions on them. On the 18th here, we do have I bought 4 shares at $73.58 of SCHD, spending about $294.34. Wish I would have waited a little bit longer, but that's okay, because next week I'll be buying more SCHD, and hopefully at a cheaper price and averaging down. You'll see here on the 18th, I did end up depositing $100 to actually buy, or to dollar cost average to the portfolio, and then the other 100 was for, I think it was just SCHD, which I just bought more to meet their ex-dividend date, especially because they went ex-dividend date there. And then on the 22nd, we ended up getting Waste Management's dividend of $6.13 as well. We also got Lockheed Martin's dividend, which was an amazing $97.18, guys, for doing absolutely nothing, completely passive. Definitely gotta love that. But let's go ahead and click this green button that I do have. It actually adds up the amount of dividends we collected this week, so let's go ahead and see that. And looks like we made $103.31, guys, in passive income. Had to do absolutely nothing, and we collected that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump over to the Google Sheets so we can wrap up this video and see how much we grew the dividend snowball. Alright guys, so we're here at the Google Sheets. Again, I already have a copy of this over here. And then if we look at the rate of return for the options, which it's at 2.79%. And then so far for September, we're at negative $745.28. That's okay if we're in the negative, especially because we got to roll up in strike price for some of the positions we were super deep in the money. If I show you guys here the options, we are actually, for this past week, we collected $66.38 in premium. That was from the SCHD cash secured puts and covered calls we placed. We have one more week, hopefully, to see how much we can pull down this $811 we rolled up in. But total so far, we're still at $3,245.54. And then if we show you guys here the dividend payout, we do have 3 companies. If I go ahead and show you here our portfolio tools, once you click get latest dividends, this will get wiped, and it'll try to pull all the companies in my portfolio, see if any companies went ex-dividend date. And as you guys can see, we do have a couple ones that did pop up. We had SCHD, which actually went ex-dividend date on the 20th of September, and they will be paying out on the 25th of September. It looks like they did, or they're going to pay 65 cents per share. We have Nvidia here, and then we have Union Pacific, Altria, and then we have JP Morgan, which actually is popping up with the 5% dividend increase, which is amazing to see. We also have the Starbucks dividend raise, which was a 7.55%. We also have the Microsoft dividend raise here, guys, which is 10.29%. And yeah, very awesome. The script is completely available for free, guys. Again, all I ask in return is that you're subscribed with that notification, and as well you drop a big thumbs up on my videos to help out the channel, guys. And if we go here to the settings, we can go ahead and get rid of this, and we can kind of just see how much we grew the dividend snowball, because remember, we dollar cost average into the portfolio, bought some more SCHD as well. We got 3 dividend raises that should hopefully the script should pick up. So let's go ahead and jump over to personal capital, or I guess it's called Empower now, to grab the latest version of our portfolio. So I'll see you guys over there. Alright guys, so we're at Empower on my Schwab account. You'll see this green button, click on it. It's called Copy Holdings. What this does is it copies my current positions into the clipboard, which we can jump back over, right click, paste special values. Again, I have all these tutorials available for free. All I ask in return again is that you help out the channel by subscribing with that bell notification, and you drop a big thumbs up on the videos. But anyways, this is the holdings. This is the old snapshot of my position from last week. Once I go to portfolio tools and I click portfolio holdings, this will get wiped and it'll parse out the new stuff we just pasted. So let's go ahead and go with that. So there it goes, guys. We can jump over here to the dashboard, and we'll see how much we grew the dividend snowball this week. So on the projected dividend yield, we actually did go up 2.06% compared to last week of 2.01%, and that is probably because the portfolio did go down in value on the projected dividend yield on cost. Now it's at 2.73 compared to 2.70, and then on the yearly, we're projected to make $4,287.55 compared to $4,235.49. As you guys can see, these dividend raises do compound, as well as my dollar cost averaging to the portfolio is starting to work. And then you'll see here on the monthly, we're actually up now to $357.30 compared to $352.96, which is very awesome here, guys, to see. On the weekly, we're actually making about $82.45 compared to $81.45. So we roughly went up right exactly at $1 for the week. So every week now we're making $1 more. And then on the day, we actually went up by about 15 cents, so $11.75. On the hourly, here's every hour that goes by, the portfolio is now making 49 cents compared to 48 cents. I guess that's very awesome to see that grow. On the hourly work wage, guys, this is if our portfolio was to go work a 40-hour work week, they would get paid an hourly rate of $2.06 compared to $2.04. So they got a 2-penny raise, I guess, because of inflation. But eventually we're going to try to get this to minimum wage. We'll see how long that takes, guys. Remember, we're planning to live off of this eventually, and we'll see how long that takes. But this is actually all I have for you guys in this update. Let me know in the comment section if you guys own SCHD. Did you guys meet the ex-dividend date? And any of those dividend raises that I went over, let me know if you own any of those positions. Definitely would love to know. But anyways, don't forget to subscribe with that notification. Help me reach those 20,000 subscriber mark. Definitely would appreciate it, as well if you wouldn't mind dropping a big thumbs up. And if you stuck all the way to the very end, go ahead and let me know by dropping a hashtag SCHD, guys, because it did go ex-dividend date, and we're gonna love that juicy dividend payment from it. And it's just gonna compound back into the portfolio, buy more shares, and then the following quarter is gonna repeat and continue compounding. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Take care, stay safe out there. Bye, guys.